We're going to show you some relatively rare footage of yellowjacket queens hibernating together in groups for the winter. What you see here is an old rental property basement in the Midwest of the USA in the month of October. The owner of this rental property had gone down into this old dark basement to repair the furnace before winter, and as soon as he turned on the light and started working down there for a while, he started to wake up some of these hibernating queens, and all of a sudden he was surrounded by queens flying all over the place, especially near the light. So he got out of there quickly because he had venom allergies, and he gave us a call. He didn't know what he was seeing, he just knew there was a bunch of yellowjackets in his basement. When we arrived down there, we found dozens and dozens of queens all over the place. They were hibernating in small groups, they were hibernating individually, they were in every nook and cranny of the ceiling of this basement. Some of the groups were fairly sizable, up to 5 or 10 at a time. Others were just a couple together, others were just on their own. There had been an active nest in the crawl space that was adjacent to this part of the basement, and the queens had come over from that nest after being born at the end of the season when all of the reproductive new queens and males are born. And in that crawl space, he'd had a very active yellowjacket nest during the season. He had controlled it well using a vacuum, a shop vac from the outside of the building where he collected thousands of the worker wasps until the nest died out. What he didn't know was that all of these queens that were born at the end of the season in that crawl space decided to come over here into this other part of the basement to hibernate. We collected 80 wasps, all hibernating queens, from every nook and cranny and crevice in the ceiling of this basement. As you can see here, they were tucked away into some very tight spaces. We had to rig up a custom vac with a very small hose to get most of them out, and we had to use very small scraper tools to dig them out of these deep crevices in the wood and the rafters of this ceiling. It was only about 20 square feet of ceiling space we were working in, but within that small concentrated area there were tons of queens hibernating. It was a very unique situation we don't see very often. A lot of the reference material you'll see online will say that German Yellowjacket queens will hibernate individually on their own somewhere under bark or under leaf piles or mulch piles or out in nature in a hollow tree, whatever. What they don't mention is that now and then yellowjackets will hibernate in groups, just like this. We've even found paper wasps, that's Polistes wasps, hibernating alongside yellowjackets or Vespula wasps. So even multiple different species of wasps might hibernate side by side. As long as it's a dark, quiet, protected, and dry space, that hibernaculum space may contain any number of wasps. All 80 of the queens we collected went to a good cause and were frozen for venom immunotherapy.